Good evening and welcome to the Power of Now. I'm Coach Mitchell.
And I'm Coach Darren.
This is our Inside Outside on Wellness Wednesday. And we are so glad that you decided to join us tonight. We have some amazing recipes to present to you that we think are not only super delicious, but healthy to incorporate in your wellness journey.
Yes, when people go on a health and wellness, or we'll say a healthy journey, and you're looking to eat healthier things, one area that tends to be a real challenge for folks is their desserts. If you're a dessert person, because desserts are normally filled with sugars or fats, creams and things like that, because they taste good, they make us feel good. And switching over to something healthy tends to be a slight challenge. So, we have a couple of puddings, all right, that are healthy, and we want to give credit where credit is due. Mm-hmm. The first one that Coach Mitchell will demonstrate, we actually got from
healthy
vegan eating.
Yes.
Off of Instagram, and I believe he has a channel on YouTube. So again, for anyone who's at least trying to reduce meat products in your diet, you may want to check him out.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to kind of segue from that before Coach Mitchell gets started. You hear the term vegan and vegetarian, which has become really popular, and also, again, a whole food plant-based diet. I preferably recommend a whole food plant-based diet more so than vegan or vegetarian, because with whole food plant-based diet, your objective is simply to eat more whole foods. Mm-hmm. You're not eating any of the processed foods or the junk foods. You're basically staying with whole natural foods. You can be a vegan or a vegetarian and still eat junk food, because a lot of junk food may not have any animal products in it.
Right.
So, but a couple other things, last night, for those who watched us, we shared or caught us on a live stream on Monday. We did a pop-up, and during that time, I had the opportunity to have a conversation with a couple people about health and wellness who were starting a health and wellness journey. And I just want to share a couple of things, because when they started talking, they immediately went to, one person said, "Oh yeah, I need to get back in the gym," and another person kind of confirmed that I need to lose weight to get back in the gym. And I told them something that's real important. It's this this myth or misinformation that when we want to lose weight, the first thing we want to do is go exercise.
Yeah, a lot of us think that is the course that we should take.
And no, it's not. Exercise is good for you, but it's not really a tool for losing weight. Your diet. Right where we're standing, this is where your whole journey to losing weight will reside. Probably 95% of your journey will be what you're eating. It's your diet. A personal trainer I had years ago, he put it simply. He asked me, how many times do you go to the gym a week? And I said 3 to 4. That was back then. I don't do that now. He said, how many meals do you normally have? And I just, did a guesstimate, which would say, 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. That's 21 meals. He said, just do the numbers. Mm-hmm. Then if you drill down and you figure how many calories how much energy it requires to burn, 100 calories, you will begin to realize that you really cannot exercise away a bad diet. So if you're truly trying to lose weight, what you want to do is you want to focus on what you're consuming. Mm-hmm. And you don't necessarily have to get into counting calories if you do it proper. And what I mean by proper, if you just focus on eating nutritious foods.
Mm-hmm. And I think also the quantity
of
what you're consuming is important to consider as well.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You can eat more nutritious foods, which will fill you up. Mm-hmm. And to get the equivalent with non-nutritious food will end up giving you more calories. But yes, a couple of habits that you want to do is, if you simply reduce your portion size and your servings. And in the beginning, it may be difficult because we tend to eat with our eyes. And if it's good, we'll keep eating because let's be honest, it's a lack of self-control.
Right.
So, which you want to do is, just think about things like that. Your portion size, your servings. But here's a couple other things that I stress to people: is your health and wellness journey. You may have heard me say this before. It's a personal journey. Health is bio-individualized, meaning we're all different. So something that may work for one person may not work for you. So it might, I don't want you to think that, oh, you're not doing it right. It simply may not work for you. So one of the things I also advise people is listen to your body. Even when you're exercising and when you're eating, listen to your body. Your body will tell you whether it's accepting something or rejecting. So you want to stay in tune with that. The other thing too that in my conversations recently, I really been stressing it to people is we have a whole lot of health information out there. And if you're on anyone's, social media feed and people post things and you look at the conversations and everybody has an opinion and they go back and forth. Sometimes they just totally miss the whole point of the thread, which is unfortunate. But here's the thing, when you come across health information, you need to put it in context, because otherwise you may hear information that may sound like it's conflicting, because people will automatically go, well, what should I eat? They get really confused, and sometimes I think they use it as a cop-out. I'm gonna just go back and eat whatever I want. Because, and I'll give you an example, as I was, having an exchange with someone this week. You take an example like something like coffee or eggs. Coffee, eggs, and I'm saying oil, and I like things like olive oil. You will hear something that in one case it'll tell you it's bad for you, in another case it'll tell you it's good for you. And a classic one is say olive oil. You could see things and they'll tell you why it's bad for you, why within that context it's true. But you'll also hear things why it's good for you. In that case, it's also true. You got to think about what your objective is. If you're trying to lose weight, oils tend to be something you might want to reduce or eliminate because they tend to be high in calories. But yet they have fat in it that's good for you. It's good for your brain. So just keep that in mind. And the other thing too, people will say, and I think we might have covered this in one of our segments about food insecurity, you want to eat as healthy as you can afford. And eat as healthy as what you have access to.
Right.
So you don't want to look for absolutes, because I think that's what people are searching for. They're looking for this magic, pill,
Magic pill.
Where they can just do this and it'll all fall in place. No, you're gonna have to think through this.
And you see that in the comments, like you were just mentioning, when you look at some of these posts where people are trying to just bring awareness and give people a little level up, leveraging the playing field, if you will, to get them started on eating something healthy. And you see it in the comments with the way people attack the poster.
Yes.
Like you just referenced, it's like, they get on there and they say, oh, well, I tried that doesn't work for me. Or what's the quantity, or how do you know this works, or how much should you take? So people are eager and hungry for it, but they just don't know how to go about, one, starting, and then two, asking for that help that they need.
Yes. Again, it's like something to talk about on Tuesday's session. People let their ego get in the way, instead of just asking for clarification. But most importantly, if someone does a 30-second clip on something, they're not going to be able to give you A through Z.
Right.
I mean, we do an hour session on Tuesday, and we still call it an awareness session. It's for you to take that information, and what I always recommend, you take it and you do your research, you cross-reference it 2 or 3 times if need be,
right,
and then come, to your own conclusion based off of where you are on your journey. So you want to just factor that in. And the other thing, I tell people, and I think the two individuals I was talking to earlier this week, I think I may have caught them off guard when I said this. I said, I spend about a week getting people to focus on their mindset before anything else. Find out, why are you going to take this health journey? Is this health journey, part of a larger journey, as you've heard me mention in previous sessions? Is it part of your spiritual journey? Because it is all connected. So you want to really think about what is it that you're trying to achieve? Why are you doing it? And really dig down. And the other thing too is, it's when I say your journey is bio-individualized, certain things you can do, or as I say, you can kind of take your time if it's just, I'm trying to get healthier. But if you're trying to deal with some type of disease, then you got to go from it from a different angle. You got to go, actually, you got to go all the way in. If someone's trying to eradicate cancer in their body, then they got to go hardcore.
It's from a molecular level at that point. Molecular and chemical, you have to really go a lot deeper than what you may see someone presenting on a real or a 1 hour session.
Yes. And you would incorporate, things besides just your food. You would get into, herbs, that whole segment, different types of, I'm gonna call them, vegetable powders, things like, spirulina or chlorella, or, those types of things that are on another level. Yeah,
those types of things.
Is learning about those things, which tend to be a little bit more powerful than just the foods that we eat. So it's a whole nother level. Again, it is individualized, bio-individualized, as they say, and you want to keep that in mind as you go on your journey. That's why it's good to build a team. Again, you have a coach, if you have access to nutritionists, or you're part of a group where people can help you decipher all of the information out there. Again, another important thing, just to reiterate real quick, is put things in context before you run away saying, well, that's not true. Well, there are times where 2 or 3 things can be true depending on which perspective you're looking at it. So keep that in mind. So with that, as I mentioned, Coach Mitchell is going to share the dessert recipe that we got from Healthy Vegan Eating, and then she's going to follow up with her variation of basically the same dessert and some of the tips to how you can make it. And then I'm going to follow up with the powerhouse in the dessert and break some things down for you there. All right, Coach Mitchell, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Listen, as Coach Darren said, this recipe came from the Healthy Vegan Eating gentleman online, and it's 5 basic ingredients. It's called a cherry chia pudding. What you need for it are cherries, pitted cherries. You need chia seeds. You need 2 figs. I'm sorry, 2 dates. 2 dried dates, vanilla extract.
And your plant-based milk.
Yes, and your plant-based milk. I think I got brain fog tonight. And your plant-based milk. So you need either oat milk, almond milk. You can even use coconut milk.
Or even soy milk, though a lot of people now believe that you shouldn't drink soy milk.
Right, or soy milk. So these are your chia seeds, and they're whole. You don't want to ground them up for your cherry chia pudding. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Vanilla extract, as I stated. 2 dates. Pitted cherries. Okay. And you want to take 1 cup of the cherries, 2 dates, a half a cup of the plant-based milk, and a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and you want to put it in your blender. That all goes into your blender. You blend that up until it's smooth. You pour it into whatever serving container you're going to pour it into, and then you add your chia seeds. Once you add your chia seeds to your mix, you just stir it in. You don't want to add them in the blender. So that's very key. So you want to stir the chia seeds whole into your pudding mix and then put it into your either your serving dish or whatever vessel you're going to use for your pudding. So, thank you. This is what you get. You put it in the refrigerator for an hour or more to chill so that it can set up, and you have a really healthy dessert. Coach, you want to try it?
All right, if you insist.
I do, so you can tell our viewers how it tastes.
Tastes like sorry about that. Trying to talk with something in my mouth. It tastes like cherries.
Tastes like cherry chia pudding, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, here's a very healthy dessert. No sugar added other than what was contained in the fruit. So try that instead of reaching for ice cream or, something, a sweet snack that's full of sugars, because you want to eliminate or minimize as many processed sugars in your diet as possible. Now, the variation to that is my mango chia pudding, which has a very different consistency. 1 cup of mango, 2 dates, a half a cup of the plant-based milk, whatever your choice is. This one here, I actually used almond milk with the mango, and a half a teaspoon of vanilla and 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. I put everything in the blender, because what you should know about chia seeds will, as they sit, they will thicken. They're like a thickening agent, so they will coagulate. So once I blended up my mango pudding mixture, it really didn't need to sit because it came out really thick, a very thick pudding. You could serve this right out of the blender. But again, it's better chilled.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, tell them how it tastes.
I like that as well because I'm also a mango fan.
Mm-hmm.
So that is actually, it's a different texture. It is thicker, and I'm glad you mentioned that you could serve it right out the blender, but it won't have that chill,
right,
temperature.
Exactly, and it doesn't give you that dessert pudding filling if you serve it right out of the blender. So there you have it. One really recipe, just a variation on which fruits you use as your base. One with whole chia seeds. So if you like the texture of, the chia seed in every bite, then I would suggest the cherry chia pudding. If you like a more smoother consistency, then I would recommend adding your chia seeds to all of your ingredients at once. Blend them at once, put them in your serving dessert dish, chill for about an hour, and then serve. And that's all there is to that.
And once you notice that, both desserts are topped with fresh mint. Where'd you get that mint from?
I'm glad you asked, because I forgot to mention that this is fresh mint from our herb garden. So this is apple mint, and we also have what we call orange mint that we are growing. And that is a different flavor, a different leaf variety, very aromatic, delicious. So yeah, herbs from the garden.
So again, we had plant-based milk, You had fresh cherries or fresh mango, dates, you had your chia seeds, and you had your vanilla extract.
And all of these ingredients are organic because, I mean, that's what we tend to buy, but you don't necessarily have to buy organic. But, whole chia seeds, you can get a bag. This bag will last you for months, It goes in your smoothies, your desserts. Again, if you want to be vegan or, I'm sorry, dairy free, this is a great alternative to eating vegan. And one other thing, a lot of times when we make puddings, we want to use whipped cream, a garnish on top, something to make, the dessert stand out. I just want to give you a quick hint, a tip. You can take chickpea juice and whip it to make whipped cream, a vegan whipped cream. Okay, you don't need to use a dairy product. So if you want to garnish your dessert, again, you could just pour this water into your mixer, get your whipping attachment, and whip it for about 5 minutes or so, and you'll have vegan whipped cream. You can add honey to sweeten it.
And that's actually, something else I like to mention. You'll hear, again, different things or different foods that are good for you, not good for you. Some people say, stay away from honey. Other people might say, eat honey, it's good for you. Again, it's a journey with different levels. You decide how healthy you want to become or you want to be. And depending on what you're striving for will determine what you will not eat. There are certain things, I think, just for fundamental basic health that we need to eliminate, which is things like, again, the processed foods, the sugars, the unhealthy fats, things like that. Yes, we need to get, eliminate them from our diet. But like I said, when you start getting into, as I mentioned, the oils, honey, that all depends on where you want to be. So again, it varies. The other thing too is there's been this thing going around too about, you shouldn't eat fruits, because fruits contain sugar. And I personally think that that's a myth. I don't think it's true. Even if you're diabetic, all you do is research it. If a doctor's probably telling you that, they probably are not aware of the nutrition behind it. But simply do your own research. You will find that, again, the sugars from fruits are processed in our body differently. Plus, if you're eating the whole fruit, you're getting the fiber, and the fiber then reduces the sugar spikes.
Exactly.
So you want to factor that in. Now, doesn't mean you want to drink the fruit juice. That's totally different, especially if you are diabetic. But eating whole fruits, you pretty much will be okay with that.
Yeah, you want to watch out for the added sugars. And again, moderation is the key word here. Eat in moderation. Eat in moderation. Don't overdo it. That's why we are in the state that we are in here in this country, because we eat in excess. And as Coach mentioned earlier, we eat with our eyes. And one other variation, I just wanted one quick tip for if you are, a whipped cream dessert type of person, you can always use, if you're not allergic to cream of coconut. And you can whip that into a fluff, and you can use that as a whipped cream alternative.
So I think the powerhouse in these desserts were the chia seeds, and those are the things that maybe if you're not used to having a healthy diet, you may not have chia seeds in your pantry. Again, you may want to buy some chia seeds and probably some flax seeds as well. But here's the thing with chia seeds: they're powerful in the sense that they contain a lot of antioxidants, which you've heard us talk about before. They're an excellent source of fiber, which means that improves your heart health, reduces your cholesterol levels, promotes digestive intestinal health. Remember, fiber takes longer to digest, so that keeps us feeling full longer, which could then help with your weight loss. And it helps to reduce the risk of diabetes because it controls your sugar levels.
Yeah. And can I just put a plug in real quick? I just want those who may have dropped in to know that Coach Darren is a certified health and wellness coach. So these are not just tips he's coming up with by surfing the internet. He is very well versed in these areas. He does a lot of research and, experimenting in the kitchen to strike a balance between what, he's sourcing from his research versus what may work for, us common everyday people.
Now, because the objective is, you want to find, I want people to grab hold of something that they can live with, something that they can do, something that they're willing to incorporate in their lifestyle, because that's really what you're striving for, is you're trying to create a healthy lifestyle, which is why I don't recommend people doing a diet, because if you can't do it forever, then why even bother doing it now?
Right. So he brings you the practical aspect of incorporating these healthier ingredients into your journey in healthier living.
So, to continue with the chia seeds, like I said, it also may improve bone health. So that's something to consider. And chia seeds are a good source of omega-3 fatty acids. You probably heard that, omega-3s. When you normally hear it with salmon. Salmon is, something that contains, healthy omega-3 fatty acids. So chia seeds are another alternative if you don't have access to, wild caught salmon. Yeah, you could buy farm fresh, but not my recommendation. And again, that's just personal. Chia seeds also contain protein, calcium, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, and vitamins B1, which is better known as thiamine, and vitamins B3, known as niacin. Now, here's the catch. Chia seeds can be relatively high in calories. They're also high in good fat. So you just need to be mindful. Again, think about what your objective is. If you're trying to really lose a lot of weight, you may want to monitor that. But they are healthy overall. Chia seeds are like avocados, also, high in calories and fat, but it's good fat. So when it comes to fat, I just want to interject this. You want to choose foods with unsaturated fat. That's the monounsaturated and the polyunsaturated fats. Limit foods in your saturated fats and avoid foods with trans fat. That's usually a lot of your processed foods. If you look on ingredients, you may still see trans fat. I believe they were outlawed. So most processed foods may not have them, but you want to really avoid that. Another question that comes up, what's the difference between chia seeds and flax seeds? Well, they're two different types of seeds. They're both nutritious. And the big difference is chia seeds tend to be high in fiber, but flax seeds contain more antioxidants. I highly recommend that you have a bag of both. And if you're using them on a regular, like in your smoothies, I'd probably suggest that you get it in powdered form, or you just take them and grind them up in your blender. Like you could take, chia seeds, pour a cup in your blender, just let the blender run. It will pulverize them and create a powder. Why? Because the powder form are easy for your body to absorb. Chia seeds, may not get absorbed. You may actually see them, actually come out when you go to the bathroom. They may still be in your stool, which means your body didn't actually get a chance to absorb the nutrients. So just a tip.
Good evening, Annie. Thanks for joining. Hi, Jesse. Thanks for watching.
So there you have it. As I said to a gentleman earlier this week in conversation, and he was talking about that he needed to lose weight. He do what most men do. I've been guilty of it too. You rub your stomach, because that's a sign for most men. Yeah, I need to lose weight. You start getting that gut. And like I told him, listen, I went from fit to fat, and I'm on my way back to fit. It is a journey. It happens. You don't have to get stuck on the fat side.
Yep.
And fat is not the other thing. Weight is not the end-all be-all indicator to good health.
Absolutely.
You could be thin as a rod and be unhealthy.
Exactly. And that just reinforces that no matter where you are, weight-wise or otherwise, it's never too late and it's never a bad idea to watch what you put in your body and on your body. That's why we're inside, outside, inside, outside. But listen, both of the recipes, our cherry chia pudding recipe, yum, and our mango chia recipe, yummy, yummy, will be posted on the webpage and in the group. So you'll have that in case you would like to try it. And trust me, they are very, very tasty. Hi, Robin. Thanks for watching. They are very, very tasty. Again, 5 ingredients. You don't need to turn on your stove. You don't need to turn on your microwave. All you need is your blender. 5 ingredients: chia seeds, the fruit of choice. This tonight just so happens to be our cherries and our mango, 2 dates, plant-based milk, half a cup, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. That's all you need. And you have healthy desserts that I promise you everybody in the house will love.
So again, take the the foundational recipe and build from there. Experiment. Just keep all your ingredients natural. Because if you start adding a whole bunch of other stuff, then you lose the whole point of trying to do a healthy dessert. But again, try different fruits. You don't have to do it this exact way. 2 dates actually might be too sweet for some folks.
Oh yeah, dates are really sweet.
Yes.
So
go with 1. Again, be creative.
Exactly. So we'll post the recipes. Again, we'll post pictures with the recipes so you'll see what they look like. One, again, with the chia seeds added after you blend all of your other ingredients.
So desires?
Desires. Yes. Thank you.
Any questions before we?
Hi, Tiffany. Thanks for joining. Listen, it is at the bottom of the hour, and I think that you have been given a great foundation to start your healthy desserts on Inside Outside Wellness Wednesday. Again, we'll post these in the group and on the page, so you'll have the recipes. We hope that you tried them, and on another session when you come back, let us know if you did and how you liked it. I'm Coach Mitchell.
Yes, and I'm Coach Darren, and I just want to say, also go visit Health Vegan Eating. He does a lot of Instagram videos and YouTube videos for additional information. Again, for those who really want to go vegan, which is, again, your choice.
All right. Listen, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next Tuesday for the Power of Now.